Just before we get into this week's podcast, I just want to say thank you to our sponsor. And our sponsor this month is Zebra Pen. Zebra is a returning sponsor this month. And at Zebra, they're serious about making the best pens possible, which means that their lab team is always testing, innovating, and perfecting ink formulas. They like to help people learn more about the characteristics of pens, ink types, and terminology, so the pen you choose delivers the best performance for your needs. And they sent us a giant box full of swag to give away at our drawing events, as well as our daily drawing challenge for this month will be a Inebri-art pen product prize package. Oh, that's a lot of P's in there. So thank you to Inebri-art pens. You can go to zebrapens.com and check out their products, and make sure you check out our Facebook page for the Daily Drawing Challenge for that giveaway. And if you're in Plymouth or the San Angelo, Texas area, you can go to our drawing events, and we'll be giving away some products as door prizes there as well. So thanks again to Zebra, and thanks, guys, for listening. All right, welcome back, Inebri-ites. This is Andy of the Inebri-art podcast, and we are back again at the Mayflower Brewery, just having a couple beers, and on our second interview of the night, and we are with Chickie Celli? Celli. I knew I was going to screw it up.
You just did it, too.
I know. I do every single time. If anyone's listened to the podcast, they know. I can't do names. Of Claychick.
Yes.
And if anyone's been in Plymouth, they know about Claychick. But for our listeners outside of Plymouth, what is Claychick?
Claychick is a mobile art studio where we bring the party to you. So it's a bus now.
Yeah, and it hasn't always been mobile.
No, I was in a storefront.
What made the change? Like, why go mobile?
Probably the last year, I was just really antsy and getting really bored being inside a lot in a building. I'm just a little bit of a free spirit. So I went cross-country with one of my best friends this past fall. Mm-hmm. And I thought, we were just kind of discussing, we were both self-employed, and I was like, I don't know, my kids are grown up, they're out of the house, I'm an empty nester now, so it's like, I don't have the same responsibilities that I had before.
Right.
So I was looking for a little more freedom. So a bus kind of just strolled by us, and I thought, wouldn't that be so rad if I bought a bus and renovated it? And the whole rest of the trip, that was all we were obsessed about. Like, okay, like on Craigslist, looking for buses, And I came home on September 16th, bought the bus October 1st, and had the first job November 29th. So.
Oh, wow. Okay. And you documented the whole thing online where you gutted it?
A bunch, a lot, yeah. And it was really fun. It was really crazy. I can't even believe we did it, but.
Yeah. And so most of your art things are kind of clay, ceramic based.
That's my favorite, yes, pottery, clay.
So what kind of things do you offer on the bus? So
canvas, wood art, resin art, pottery, and then I'll probably just do some things that are more just string art, make and take kind of fun stuff. Just really getting the community more exposed to art seems to be like what I feel passionately about.
Yeah.
I've always liked to be able to introduce people to art that haven't.
Right, and it's kind of like those good projects where you can kind of get those people who feel they can't make art.
Always, and they're excited about it.
Yeah.
So it's really just basic, very fun.
Yeah. What is your basic clientele like?
I have a lot of children, a lot of families, but I have a lot of adult women, which is really fun. I've been going to different breweries and doing things there where they can get together and go in and buy the beer and come out into the bus and have drinks and art, and it's just really fun. Just roll off.
Nice. You guys are doing coasters, I think?
Second
for Second Wind is part of
Art
Week?
An Art Week project.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
so
awesome.
4 coasters, like $20, and I think they'll have some of their logos. And I've done that here before at Mayflower, and they had their logos printed out when people did their logos.
So do they paint onto the coaster?
Yep. So they'll paint, and I'll actually kiln fire it. So they'll have to come back a week, 10 days later, and pick it up. So it'll be.
You don't have a kiln on the bus?
Yeah, not that. That takes a little more electricity than I was willing to shell out for. But yeah.
So is there like more there has to be more consideration for like storage and things like that when you have the bus.
So what I did was I got out of my storefront down here in Camelot, and I gutted my basement, and I just kind of revamped everything. I've 7 pottery wheels, 4 kilns. I just kind of roll it all out into the bus and then unload it into the house and just fire it all at home. And it's really easy and it's really nice.
Nice.
So I have a lot more freedom.
And you've been doing that since November?
I closed officially December 30th, 2018. Yep.
And so I know you were part of Winterfest, right? Yep,
that was wonderful. That was our first, or maybe our second event. It was really fun. We were slamming. And those were just a make and take kind of thing. Yeah. So that was great. Parents could just take the items home with them that night.
So how long have you been doing this kind of art studio?
Very long. So
very long.
Very long. So I moved to Plymouth in '95, and my husband, like, this was way before like I remember when we got our first computer in like '97. So it was no like Craigslist,
it was like
eBay,
like that. Yeah.
The dial-up.
Yep.
So he just said, I saw an ad in the newspaper for a kiln and a pottery wheel. Would you want that? Because he knew I loved that kind of thing.
Yep.
So the whole business really started super organically out of my little neighborhood in West Plymouth, literally 20 years ago. And then it just kind of kept developing and growing, and I just kept becoming more passionate about it. And
so did you start making stuff and selling the pottery that way?
I did, quite a long time ago. And then there's just people in the neighborhood would say, can my kids come over and do that with you? It wasn't like I had this big dream of doing this. It just kind of happened.
Yeah.
And so that just feels really natural to me now. And every house that I've lived in, I've had a classroom in the home. So I was out since 2010 renting storefronts. Like down at the Rotary I had one, and then in Camelot.
Oh, you had one right down to the waterfront?
Yep, I did. My first one.
If it was right down by the road, that'd be a challenging spot.
It was challenging. I didn't have water or my kiln or a bathroom. So, like, what's the difference now? Kind of back to ground zero. At least you can
drive near one.
Yeah. So.
That's crazy.
But it's fine. It's fun. It works out. And I don't work as much anymore. So it's kind of nice. Traveling more.
Nice.
Yeah.
So at what point did you decide you wanted to be, you're a professional artist, so like when did you was that always something you wanted to do? Or?
Something I always enjoyed and did on the side. I had my children when I was pretty young, so it was just something that was just a hobby that I just did with them a lot. So it was just something that just grew and developed, I would say.
So it wasn't so much a plan, it just kind of
happened? It wasn't a plan.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I didn't make a lot of plans for myself in this life. But so far, everything's kind of worked out pretty nicely.
And your kids, do you see them kind of fall, like...
No.
Are they going to take the keys to the bus one day?
I doubt it. I have a daughter who lives in Jamaica Plain. She's a massage therapist, and I have a son who's active military who just is married and bought a house actually in Plymouth, and he'll be moving back. But they're not really, and I've never really pushed it on them. Like I needed them to work a little bit, like in middle school, and that just wasn't fun for them. So I didn't want to do that to them. So it wasn't their thing.
Yeah.
So we all have our own little identities and our own roads we're traveling, but it's not a family business in that regard.
No. And what is it about pottery and ceramics?
I think a lot of it is the people, really, truly. Yeah. It's like seeing people make things that they can't believe they made and that they enjoy. A good example is the ceramic vintage Christmas trees that people get crazy about.
The what now?
The Christmas trees that are ceramic vintage with the lights up. You've never seen those?
With the little
lights.
Peg lights that go in all the branches. Yeah.
So people will still, year after year, come and say, I have to have one of those. My grandmother made me one. My aunt got it. I want one. So it's funny because it's something that really people hang on to, and it's part of their keepsakes.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of special.
So that's kind of outside of what I was thinking, because I think more of like the pottery wheel and stuff, but that's more of like a molded type thing. That is, yes.
But I prefer to do pottery. I take 2 classes a week regularly, so that's what I'm very involved in. It seems to be there wasn't enough desire for that, so I always went with the paint your own pottery, the commercialized side of it.
Yeah,
because people liked that.
Now, is that something where you buy the tree?
Yep,
pre-made kind of thing?
I used to have all of those kind of molds and do it myself, but it was really backbreaking and super messy. And
it's funny. Like I never even thought of it until you were just talking about it. My parents used to
have that tree.
My mother used to do, well, she had that tree, but my mother did ceramics. My father did some too.
In that generation, that's like women really did stuff for themselves like that. So it's kind of going back to those basics of doing things that
right. And they used to
enjoy.
They used to go out like once a week.
Once a week,
and,
absolutely,
yep, to some place, and she had all the molds. And I remember I always had like, not Garfield Bank.
A little
and
knockoff.
Yeah.
Little knockoff Bart Simpson, yeah.
And my father got obsessed with it for a short period of time, and he painted a 4-foot beer stein.
So what would you do if he gave you that beer stein? Like, do you have it?
My sister has it.
Yeah, so isn't that kind of cool?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So that's just kind of neat.
Yeah.
People like that.
It's, he was... No, he wasn't, I wouldn't say artistic, but he definitely had a little taste for it.
And he probably just enjoyed the experience.
Right, yeah.
So for me, I feel like it's not like all the little kitties and puppies are painting. It's the experience of, like, getting people to get outside of their head and just do something that's different that they enjoy.
Right, and to kind of get away from their humdrum and just a little relaxing. Yeah. Do you get a lot of men involved?
More than you would think. Like, you would not think that...
Because I wouldn't think at all until I was just kind of reminiscing about that.
About your dad, yeah. There'd be, like, date nights and things like that. That's kind of fun.
Do you ever get them when they come, like, dragged in for date night and then the guy is way more into it?
Yes, a lot of pottery. So I used to do a pottery date night on the pottery wheel. So I would do a little demo, then they each had their wheel. And that was a blast because people would bring in a bottle of wine and they would do that, and it would just be really a great time. So I do foresee doing that again. I'm going to build a little outbuilding and do that again in the future.
Nice.
The next couple of years, but I'm going to stay with this.
And so it's not just pottery. I know you've done some like glass tile.
Glass
type.
fusing.
Yep. Yeah, so tell me what's that about?
It's simple. It's just really you're just laying glass on top of glass and fusing it together in a really hot kiln. And it makes like night lights and window hangings and just different things like that. But again, it's just fun to see what people come up with because they'll say, I just have this idea. And my job is just to guide them through their idea and make sure it comes out well.
I always we've done a few kind of those paint nights.
Yeah.
Where, it's kind of like a step-by-step process. And you go, okay, do this, then you do this. Yeah. And I always liked, my favorite ones were the ones that are like, well, I kind of want to, do you have brown? And you're like, there's no brown in this painting. What do you want brown for? And they kind of make it their own and tweak it a little.
Yeah, I really encourage people to do their own thing like this. Yeah. Like, I don't really like to paint samples of things because then everybody paints
exactly
what I did. Yeah. And it's like, just give them a basic and just take it in your own direction. It's really allowing people to have creative freedom that they're not used to because they're stuck in their jobs, they're stuck in their roles. And
do you feel people are kind of hesitant to kind of grab hold of that?
I feel like until you give them permission to, yes, they are. Until you say, come on, this is what we're doing. Like, it's going to be great. You're going to have a great time. Let it go. Then they have a blast, and it's really fun, and that's what I like about the business.
Yeah, we've been doing these beer mug paintings, and
it's so fun.
Oh, they're a blast, and people come in, and we're like, "Do you want a template, or do you want to go rogue?"
Go rogue, baby, like, all day.
Ooh, I kind of want to go rogue, and you're like, "Rock on, let's do that."
Please, yeah. I can't follow directions. I don't do what I'm told ever.
I always feel like those are the most interesting with the best results.
Those are my favorite kind of people.
Yeah,
people who can just do what they want.
Do whatever.
Yeah, they're not rigid.
Yeah.
I feel like I've learned a lot about people in the last decade.
Do you have students who've kind of taken your classes and like fallen in love with it and kind of got their own wheel or whatever?
Absolutely.
Gone off to art school?
Highly encourage that. Yeah, we did that. We painted the lobster for Lobster Fest. That was outside of Cabbie Shack, and one of my employees... Lobster Fest, the lobster crawl.
Yeah.
So that employee went on. She's at Mass Art now.
Oh, nice.
It's kind of cool. And that's kind of like just how she got started and doing stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Are you gonna do the oyster roll? Oyster roll. I think that's what they're called.
Get the shell out of here or something.
Oh, that would be way better. I think it's called oyster.
I feel like we'll give somebody else a chance.
Yeah.
If they come up short and need the desperate, maybe.
Yeah. If they're reaching out to you.
But I did a lobster, so I don't feel like I want to, be a hog.
Yeah. Overall, what did you think of the whole lobster crawl thing? Is yours still there? Is yours one that
Actually,
stayed?
I stayed.
Yeah.
Ours got purchased by Cabbie.
By the Cabbie Shack.
Yeah. I thought it was fun, It was just kind of a fun thing. I really take pride in our town. I love living in Plymouth. Mm-hmm. I lived here. I raised my family here. So I just thought it was fun to participate.
Yeah, I did it as just kind of like as a fun...
Yeah.
When I was doing it the whole time, like, this is just... There's a strong likelihood that this may just disappear. And I know some people took it, I almost feel like too serious. They got like really kind of bent out of shape if they weren't notified about certain things.
Oh,
they
no,
really
I was
got,
not like that at all. I was like, here you go.
Yeah. And
mine is
like,
the tacky tourist. Because Cavi has a fun personality. He says, you guys just do whatever you want. And we're like, all right, we want socks and sandals. Won't that be silly?
Yeah.
It was just silly and fun. I wasn't worked up about anything.
Yeah, to me, once it was out of my hands, I was kind of more
doesn't belong to me.
Yeah, it didn't belong to me, and I was kind of more like, well, we'll see what happens if it disappears. And
yeah.
So people like text me, and they're like, oh my God, it's falling over. I'm like, all right.
It's not really anything for me to do.
Someone will take care of it.
Exactly. Yeah, I had the same mindset.
Yeah. So you work with Cabby. Have you done other, obviously Claychick was part of the town for a long time. Did you get a lot of call to take part in town events like that? Or?
Yeah, we're regularly approached to do things in the town, and I really appreciate that. I think that's great. I'm grateful that people see that there's a value, and I'm just humble and happy to be here, and as long as this keeps going, I'd like to keep doing it. You know.
So we were talking with Jimmy downstairs. He's convinced that you're going to take your bus like across country to work. Is that part of the plan?
The only problem with that is I couldn't get the governor off of it, and it only goes 55 on the highway.
Oh.
So I don't know if I can go too far. But,
I see people drive 55 on the highway.
Yeah, get a lot of middle fingers at me.
No,
but
you stay in the right...
That's all right.
Yeah, right lane.
I do. I probably will go to Levitate this year with it. I did Levitate the last couple of years.
Oh, really? That's cool.
So that was super fun because we made...
There's a good lineup, too.
There was a great lineup. And I have a second business called Long Pond Pottery, so I sold my pottery there. And I made... every year I've done it, like this 3 or 4 years, we've made just an exclusive little ornament, like a stoneware ornament. It was a Volkswagen bus that said Levitate last year.
Oh, cool.
So it was really fun.
Yeah.
For them, but I don't know.
For our listeners who don't know, it's the Levitate Music Festival in Marshfield, which I think is coming up.
Yeah, it's the weekend after 4th of July.
Yeah.
And Susan Sadusky
and it's huge now.
Massive, and it's 3 days now.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I need, it's a lot of work.
How long have you been doing that?
I want to say 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And they've just always approached me. So I've always handmade an ornament that was for them and that the kids painted there. That was just, they also were like guitars that said Levitate. We did llamas that said Levitate.
Oh, so it's not something that you buy as a souvenir. It's like
I made
paint
them.
it.
I handmade them and then they painted them. And then they kept them.
Oh my God, how many ornaments were you
making?
Like
1,000. It was like a lot.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
I know. So many. We would do every month we would have a goal to do 300 ornaments have to be cut. Yeah. Hand rolled, every single one. So it's just something that we did.
So about, ornament 750, are you hating life?
Yeah. No, your hands are because I have to get these cookie cutter style made.
Right.
Yeah, your hands are just raw. You're like, oh my God. So you have to take breaks.
Yeah.
Just stretch it out. You have to start now. So I'm ready for July.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's fun.
I've yet to go, but I've heard really great things about it.
I think you'd like it.
And I just feel like it's one of those where I don't want to be like it's over, because it's not, but I feel like it's to throw back, I can make this reference and you'll get it. It's like when Lollapalooza first came around, and then you're like, well, it's not like it was. It was cool and little.
Still, I think what's nice about it though is it's still got such a homegrown feeling to it.
Yeah. And
I think I like the people who own Levitate, the surf shop. They just know that they're nice people and they care about their town, and so it's a nice thing to get behind. Lollapalooza is way out of my reach to be involved in, but it just feels nice. The atmosphere there is really very much community, and it's just everyone's super nice. If it's not 1,000,000 degrees out, that's the only problem. Sometimes it's super hot, but it's just nice. It's fun.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's good music all day long.
We had an artist friend of ours. It was his first venture selling his artwork was at Levitate.
How'd he do?
He did really well.
That's
I think he's going to go back this year. Yeah.
People receive you really well there. I sold more than I ever in my life sold at Levitate. And I was like, all right, that's what I want to do.
I'll be back.
Yeah. And it was, I make pottery. So it's bowls and rolling trays and different things.
Yeah.
So it was the right atmosphere for it.
Those things that,
people like
the
that
fish
custom.
dead type people buy.
Yes. Yeah. I love the dead. So there's a lot of that referenced.
So is there a lot of that influence in your work?
Not necessarily. There's a lot of more nature influences, a lot of pine needles and a lot of things that are just... When I first started teaching exclusive clay before Claychick really evolved, it was called... I had a nature clay camp. So essentially, the people would like drop their children off at my house, and they would like go hike. I have 100 acres next to me.
Oh wow!
So we would just go hike for the morning part of the day, and then come back and have lunch, and like would gather all of our little treasures.
Oh, so they would kind of like go out and find things
forage,
that they could incorporate.
Like, exactly, and then we would make plates and bowls and things that they could press all the natural elements into. And it was just really just simple and fun. And,
did you do something similar when you were a kid? Like, what got you into ceramics?
I've always loved being outdoors.
Yeah.
I'm a big proponent of that. That's kind of why I was getting so itchy the last couple of years.
Because you're kind of locked in that building,
and like sunny days, and I'm like, no one's coming in. I want to go out. I just always have loved art, and my best teachers in school were art teachers that I connected with. And I wasn't like some great artist. I didn't win awards or anything. It was just something that was just fun to me. I don't have a lot of competitive spirit in me.
Do you think your art teachers would be surprised that
No, I think they would, I was always a little quirky, always a little different, outside the box kind of a thinker.
Yeah.
So, I mean, getting a bus and driving around teaching is a little
those of us in the art room were always a little,
out there.
Yeah, those were always the most fun.
That was okay with me, though. Yeah. I feel more authentic now doing this because it just seems like more natural to me, I guess.
So you started this back in 95. Did you have like a real job?
Oh, I've had jobs, yes, absolutely. A lot of home care, waitressing, nothing. I did not go to college.
Yeah.
I got married when I was 19. I'm still married to my high school boyfriend. So,
wow.
Yeah,
Good
24 years. Yeah, like 30, almost 30 years together.
Wow.
Yeah.
You almost never hear that happen.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But he's, learned how to tolerate me early on. And he's just an easygoing guy. So he's super supportive whenever I come up with some idea. He's like, all right. But, yeah, I mean, it was just, I've had other jobs, but nothing that really filled me up.
Right.
Just jobs.
Just a
things
paycheck.
to do. Yeah. But I always took pride in my work. I'm a really good worker. I have a good work ethic.
Well, obviously, I mean, you can't have your own business and not have a work ethic or make 1,000 ornaments.
Yeah, I know, not care. But I wasn't like, people were like, oh, this is my dream come true. I mean, I really just didn't dream it up. It just kind of happened, and it was just one
Sometimes
step
I
at
feel
a
like
time.
those organic things are, it's back in high school, like I didn't belong to a radio club or anything like that.
Yeah.
I mean, this just kind of happened.
Right.
And it's one of those,
just enjoy it.
Yeah, and if it becomes not fun, then we just
stop.
Yeah,
exactly.
Do
That's
something
the way
else
I feel.
fun.
I know. I feel that way.
It's more rewarding that way.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to do a Claychick thing now where you don't have a location, do I call you and have the bus come to me? Do I try to find you at a location like here at Mayflower? Like, how does that work?
So I'm still kind of sifting through the best way to do things, to be truthful. I'm at Jolly Bean like once a month, and then I've been doing some private.
The best breakfast sandwiches.
Oh my God, everything in there.
Oh my God,
so good. So good. She just got like the best breakfast
it's Amanda,
in
right?
Foley County or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
She's a good friend of mine.
Blew my mind.
Yeah.
One time, I, followed her online, whatever, and she posted something about. I think it was she'd gotten BT Smokehouse pulled pork. I think it was.
Oh yeah.
Which, if our listeners are anywhere near
South,
for God's sake, Sturbridge. Thank you.
Because it's up near where Brimfield is.
Yes,
that's when I had it.
So if anyone is near Sturbridge, drop what you're doing, go to BT's.
And honestly,
so good.
It defined near pretty broadly.
Within 3-hour drive.
Yeah.
So the brisket there is amazing. So I had messaged her and been like, hey, do you ever get brisket? And she's like, oh, I'm from there, so if I'm home and they have something, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, great, whatever. That was it. It was just like one message online. Yeah. And then I stopped in there for breakfast one morning, and she's like, oh, I haven't been home in a while. I'm like, what? I never met her before. And she's like, didn't you message me online about... And I'm like, yeah, weirdo. Like, it was the weirdest thing.
She remembers everything.
It was
everyone.
Almost frightening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's doing a great job.
Oh,
Great food.
Yeah.
And I loved being her business neighbor. So like you had said, like, so other businesses partnering up with
that's
other
right, because
businesses.
you were right near there. Yeah,
we were neighbors. And when she moved in, I
I'd
made
be
her
so
this
fat
giant,
if I was.
Did you see the giant Jolly Bean coffee mug that's sitting on top of her, like, takeout thing? I made her that when she moved in.
Oh, that's sweet.
It's huge.
I don't know if I must have seen it.
You'll notice it now, yeah.
Now I won't, yeah.
But she's a fun business neighbor.
Yeah.
And so I'll partner with other businesses. I'll go into a neighborhood, like, there's a lot of neighborhoods in this town that if you have 20 kids, I'll come in and park in your little cul-de-sac.
Yeah, so kind of like the
ice cream
ice cream truck, yeah. Playing the music, driving around.
I'll be at the Hanover Food Truck Festival in April.
Oh, yeah.
They reached out to me to do some of that stuff.
Joanne? Mom on the Go.
June Summers?
No,
it is Mom on the Go.
Yeah. She's super sweet. We've had her on the podcast before.
Yeah.
Of course, now I can't remember her name. Research?
I thought it was June Summers. No?
I don't know.
Is
it really?
I'm right? Pretty sure. All right. 1 point.
That sounds like a porn star name.
But I don't think is it Summers or Sumner? I don't know.
I thought it was Joanne. Who's Joanne? God, I know too many people.
Well, she is super nice and reached out to me.
No, she's great.
Come do that, and I was like,
and I apologize for not remembering your name.
Just different festivals I'm looking forward to getting involved in.
Yeah, we were just
things.
talking with Steve Hall, and he brought you up.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. Did you do something at one of his? Now I can't remember why. My brain is so shot from talking all day. Did you do something at one of his festivals?
No.
This is great radio for people to be like, oh, they're just kind of trying to remember things.
I've helped him at Hopfest before.
Maybe that might have been what it was.
But before I had the bus.
I don't remember. But
he's doing a lot of things.
What I do remember specifically is you came out to our Arts for Animals show last summer.
Yes, I did.
Are you going to come again this year?
Yeah, I would love to.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I'll get you the date.
I think it's so fun to get your dog's paw print in an ornament. People love them.
It's so
anything I can think of.
It's very
I love.
cute.
Yeah. It's, my dogs are both expired a couple of years ago, but I did that beforehand. And it's like, it's just kind of nice.
Yeah.
It's like the keepsakes, the memories. I just kind of treasure that,
and
I just think it's kind of nice, and people value it. I mean, this might sound slightly morbid, but there was a mom who was passing away, and I went to her house and did her handprint on the plate with all her.
Oh, it is morbid, but
I know.
It's one of those.
It sounds morbid, but it's kind of meaningful to her family now.
Right,
and
absolutely.
I was driving out of there, oh my gosh, that means something. This isn't just painting cats and dogs.
Right.
That was really meaningful.
Even where that could be sad, do you prefer that kind of?
I'm okay with it.
Meaningful type thing?
I appreciate the opportunity to help a family do something like that.
Yeah.
That means something to them.
Because I feel like that would be very... You could kind of... Mixed emotions?
Yeah, I have mixed emotions. And I drove out very grateful and just grateful to be able to help them at that time.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was kind of special.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
For them, So I'm open to all kinds of ideas and meeting needs, I guess.
Do you get a lot of? I feel like it'd be popular with bridal shower type stuff. Do you get a lot of that?
And that's fun. That's pretty fun. Because they
don't
can
get out
all
of control.
I personally don't enjoy bridal showers or going to them. It's funny because I'm not. I like to kind of just be home and hang out because I do the little entertainment stuff for people, and then I just go home and crash and burn and sweat to Netflix.
Well, that's because I think after you're
on,
you
shut it off.
Yeah, you just want to be just leave me alone, just go away. And where you're very town focused, do you find that you don't like to go out for your own enjoyment?
At times. There's times, and I'm afraid that,
because I know Tatum.
3 beers in, I might open my mouth too much, or say too much, so I got to be cautious.
Yeah, I got to work on that.
You never want to wake up the next morning and be did I really say that? But,
I usually get the person being oh my God, it's so funny when you said that. I'm like, oh, yeah.
I shouldn't have said that.
I did say that.
I know, exactly.
I meant it as a compliment.
I don't like to have to retract things the next day. But
and they're all yeah, they didn't take it that way. I'm like, shit.
So I'm I'm good natured and I don't ever mean bad. Sometimes I'm oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You can be misunderstood sometimes. I mean, I like to go out and support our local businesses, but I'm also super content to just throw a fire on at home and
just relax. Because I feel like when you teach class and stuff, it's almost like a performance. and that sometimes
you have to make sure everyone's having a good time.
Right. And even if you're having a bad day, you can't be like, all right, fuckers, put this, do that. Yeah.
I don't like that.
So you have to kind of be like, happy
no matter what,
up
and on. Yep.
Do you? It's such a stupid question. Where can people go to find you online?
Claychick.com.
That simple?
That's simple.
Social media as well, or?
Oh yeah, Instagram. It's Claychick Plymouth. It's just Claychick on Facebook. I really am not awesome on social media. I'm like, oh, I have to do that again. I have to post. I feel like I mean, if I could have lived back before social media and all that, I would be pretty content. I still handwrite letters and handwrite thank you cards to all my customers.
What?
I know. I don't.
No one does that.
I do because I like
really
that.
Weird.
I know. I told you I was weird. But I think that's special, but people do appreciate it.
Yeah.
Actually, it's funny because
I check my mail so infrequently. There's been like...
I'm going to just pile up so many thank you cards.
4 times I've literally had to go to the post office and been like, I live there. Can you please stop shutting off my mail?
That's really funny. Oh my gosh, I used to pen pal. Oh yeah. My son's married, and I've never met because they eloped in New Mexico. So I've been pen paling with his mother-in-law for like 3 years, and I've never met her.
Like actually writing.
Oh my gosh, yeah, absolutely. Are you kidding me? You wouldn't love to get mail?
No. Like I don't even look at it.
With like a sticker in it or anything? Like when I sent it to my customers?
I would be more like baffled being like, someone sent
weirdo
me mail?
Writing to me. Like, does she have nothing better to do with her time?
It would just, yeah.
Yeah, well.
I mean, I don't.
I'm a little old school.
But I feel like we're roughly the same. It's a perfect example.
I'm probably older than you.
I don't think so.
Next week.
Next week?
Yeah.
Try younger.
I'm younger?
Yeah. By what month is it? March? 3 months? 2 months?
Okay. My birthday's the first day of spring.
Mine is the crappy day that you had to go back to school.
Oh.
January 3rd.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah. Well.
Happy belated birthday.
Hey, thanks.
Happy.
Celebrate? Yeah, sure.
You can bring beer on it.
Nah, I totally lost track of what I was going to say.
But I was weird for writing thank you cards.
Oh, yeah. So recently I had a call.
More about my weirdness?
No, but it's kind of like how, obviously we're the same age.
Well, I'm younger, actually.
We're almost the same age. It reminds me of my ex-wife. I was 2 weeks younger than my ex-wife, and I made sure she knew it. But like I went to call someone recently, and it was one of those, I'll call you like tomorrow afternoon kind of thing. And I called them tomorrow night. And she's like, well, I was kind of upset by that.
Oh, no.
And I'm like,
oops.
Like...
It's the same day, even
totally baffled. Yeah. And,
jeez.
And so I was talking to someone later, and they're like, well, was it a landline? And I'm like, yeah. I don't think she has... And they're like, because she was waiting around, idiot. And I'm like, oh, right. People had to do that at one point. It's like, I grew up with the rotary dial phone, I don't even think about it anymore.
Remember eavesdropping on people's conversations in your house?
Yeah. And you had to slowly let up the button.
Ease up and be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And you hear all the juice. And then you're like, they're coming. So
and you have to cover over the phone and you're listening. Breathe. And you're just like.
Our crank calls were the best.
Oh, yeah. But well before caller ID.
Oh, yeah.
So
that was awesome.
We used to do it all the time.
Pizzas, everything. You'd be like, go deliver 20 pizzas to the chick down the street. You see the car rolling. And you're like,
yeah. I don't know if we were ever that clever. We used to call up and sing to people.
Did you?
Yeah.
What'd you sing?
Happy Anniversary.
Really?
I don't know why. There may have been some underage drinking involved.
Typically.
Yeah.
Were you drinking the Purple Passion?
That's a girl drink.
But you know what it is.
Oh, I do. I'm not saying I've never had it, but that was a girl drink.
Well, I worked in restaurants when I was young, so I always got...
Did they sell that at restaurants?
No, but
but you knew
if you were a young girl and you worked with a bunch of older men, they would always be like, do you want some Purple Passion?
Yeah.
Like, well, my parents don't want that.
You don't know what we're talking about.
No, for those of us who were...
It was...
It was in a 2-liter bottle.
Yeah, it looked like
and it was
soda.
like grape Fanta.
Yeah.
It was like grape Fanta.
Yeah, you know how they've not your dad's root beer, not your dad's orange soda?
Yeah.
It was that.
It was not your dad's Fanta, but sad.
But in like a 2-liter bottle.
But it was grape. Grape was kind of good.
Yeah.
Grape's not great.
Not now it isn't, but when you're 16.
Zima?
Zima, oh yeah.
Vaguely on TV.
We used to drink down the railroad tracks.
Well, where were you from? You
Whitman.
were living in Carver. Oh, I graduated from Whitman-Hanson.
So did I.
No kidding.
Wait,
93?
93.
Did we go to school?
Clearly.
Oh my god! All right, I'm not friends with anyone anymore, but
Neither am I.
Karen Holland. You're probably smart, like one of those. So did you have Mr. Delaney for art?
Yeah. Mad Dog?
Oh my gosh! And what was the woman? And she had dark hair.
And she was only there for like 2 years,
I
and
know,
then she
but I
got
really
pregnant.
liked her.
And then we got
And
Mrs.
she
Brady.
was tall. I didn't think I liked her.
No one
and
liked
that
her.
school was a dump.
It was all right.
Well, it was. Now it's beautiful.
Yeah,
The
well, now
portables.
it's... Well,
Every high school's
our
gorgeous
school
now.
is gone.
I cannot believe you went to the same high school.
Yeah.
We weren't friends, though, because I was too weird.
How were you constantly in the art room and I was constantly in the art room and we didn't know each other?
Oh, my gosh. I don't know.
That's a weird thing.
Wait, are you sure you guys didn't know each other?
Pretty sure.
It was...
Chickie's not like a nickname. Is that your...
Yeah, everyone called me. It's always been Chickie.
No idea. No.
You were drinking a lot back then.
I wasn't drinking at all.
That's
not.
why we didn't know each other.
I know, but
I was a
knowing
very
names, the kind of thing
good.
you probably wouldn't admit to at that point.
Yeah. I used to hang around with Brad Wilburn.
I remember that. Joe Thompson.
Oh, I love Joe
He's a
Thompson.
tattoo
Yeah,
artist.
yeah, yeah.
So people are always like, oh, you must be like wicked into birthday parties because you host birthday parties because you love birthday parties. I'm like, no, I never had a birthday party in my life because I had a big family and like, people like didn't
I used to
go
hang
over
around
the
with
top.
Amanda.
His sister.
Yeah.
So Joe Thompson was the only person that ever threw me a birthday party when I turned 16. It was like a tie-dye. I could totally find the picture at my house. A tie-dye peace sign cake.
Was hanging out with
He's
Joe
such a good
Thompson.
kid. So we messed it. Jonas Gaffney.
Oh yeah, Jonas Gaffney. I
That's
know
who I
that.
hung around
Like
with.
I knew him, but didn't really.
I mean, I
know
had
him.
like two friends,
Yeah.
solid.
But I dyed my hair for graduation at Joe Thompson's house. He dyed his green.
Yeah, he's so tall and skinny. We used to hang out at his house. Was he on Gowen Drive? Up off Gowen Drive?
Sure, that sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah.
Because I used to babysit, and then I remember going over to his house and watching his dog have puppies.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, I know, but it was really kind of wild.
Yeah, he's a good kid.
Yeah, I have some off-the-air stories too. Then
All right. Well,
we're finishing up. No, just
we
kidding.
are because it's just about 8 now, and I think they're
Thank you for
closing.
having me.
No problem. Thank you for coming
I can't
on.
believe we both went to high school together.
It doesn't surprise me at all because like I knew no one in my class.
And you graduated in 93?
93. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, me too. I didn't go to graduation though.
I did go to graduation, but it was
Yeah.
more like my parents were like, "Where'd you go to graduation?" I'm like, "Whatever."
Yeah.
But I was also in the band, so I had to play at graduation.
Oh, well, that's pretty
So-
important. you had a role.
Yeah, I had to do things. Yeah, that's so weird.
Funny. What street did you live on in Whitman? Whitman kids were so much meaner than Hanson kids. Just so you know.
I would totally agree with that. Like, I didn't hang out with anybody.
Oh my gosh! Like little Hanson girls were like little hicks, and the Whitman girls were like, "I beat your ass." I just bumped into you.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, I think
I was
almost
terrified in high school.
Do you know
really?
Scott Kitchenham?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's from Hanson. He was like he's still one of my closest friends.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh. See, I was pretty quiet.
Yeah.
I just kept to myself. Just didn't want to get my ass kicked. And then.
And then you got your ass kicked?
No, I just thought that school was just so like the women girls were so mean. I was always Jen Lasky. Jen Lasky?
Almost
Mark Lasky.
Almost all the time is like, oh, that name sounds vaguely familiar, but I can't put anyone
together.
Yeah. Like
she was really a sweetheart.
For 8 years, I worked at Home Depot, and there was one day I was like walking down the main aisle, and someone was like, "Andy," and I'm like, "Hi."
I know, isn't that awful?
And he's like, "Hey, what's going on?" He's like, "Going on." I'm like, "I have no idea who you are." And he's like,
happens
"We
to
went
me
to
a
high
lot.
school together." I'm like, "No,
Nothing.
nothing. Your name doesn't sound familiar."
I, like a week or two ago, did a birthday party at someone's house, and I went to middle school with the mother. Zero.
Yeah.
And I was embarrassed. I'm always embarrassed. I can never remember people's names.
See, I don't know, because like I
I'm
wasn't.
like, I'm sorry.
I don't like. I recognize a lot of names, but like I was never close with anybody in high school. So
Yeah,
I
it's kinda
had
a
like
thing.
my friends.
I was out in the
and-
woods.
Yeah, you know.
So Hanson, nothing to do. Camp Kiwanee, like just hang around.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we used to drink on the railroad tracks down by.
I was picking up all your empties like
Probably.
a good girl.
Well, we were in Whitman.
Whoa.
I was with the tough kids in Whitman.
Those ball busters. These kids are mean.
Yeah, down.
I remember walking down the hall one day, and this girl chewed up a bunch of saltine crackers, went and blew them in the back of this other girl's hair. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to hide. I just thought.
There was.
Girls are really mean.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they're meaner now today. Like, maybe that was nothing. But to me, I thought that was a lot.
It was more. I feel like now is more
social media and
passive aggressive. I'm in my house being mean to you.
Yeah,
where this was more like,
meet you outside.
I'm going to be mean, but I might get slapped in the face. Because I actually dated a girl in high school who
who was it? I wonder if I remember.
Jen Shaw. She was younger, a year or two younger, but she bounced some girl's head off the lockers.
Yeah, that's
times.
awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was hiding from those girls. I'm like, it was not like that. And I was like, wearing tie-dyes and wraparound skirts, total, didn't fit in.
Like 90s hippie.
Still.
Yeah.
Like now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I moved to Hanover, and I went back and just commuted, I guess, back to Hanson to school. But I was like, man, I got to get out of this town. These girls are too tough.
I don't remember the girls being tough. But
not in Hanson, but in Whitman-Hanson.
I didn't have to fight any of them, so.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, all right.
That was fun.
So, hey, good to see you again.
Right. Did you ever go to any reunions? I would never go to a reunion.
I went to one.
Yeah.
And I went to one. That's enough for me.
Hit the mopo.
It was more like, I didn't talk to these people then, No.
So I left Hanson when I was 19 and hit the gas at that one intersection on 36 and went to Plymouth. I was like, I don't know how far away this is. I've never been to Plymouth before. I think I should live here.
Oh, so we used to hang out all the time down in Plymouth.
No, I really didn't. I didn't even know Plymouth went past the exit 5 totem pole.
Yeah.
And I live at exit 3. But I lived at exit 6 when I moved here for the first time. And I was really young and I was like, yeah, let's go to Plymouth. I don't know anybody. It'll be fun.
Nice. All right, so thanks for listening as we find out we missed paths in high school.
It's not funny.
Yeah, and you were like, oh, I'm way older than you. But thanks for coming on the show, and hopefully our listeners will check out the Bright Blue Bus.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Anytime.
All right.
Okay, thanks for checking out the podcast. And don't forget to check out our other podcasts on the Inebri-art Podcast Network. There's the Bar Talk. There's Old Colony Cast. There's, of course, the Inebri-art Podcast. And our latest, Retro Redoctopus, a kind of nerd genre podcast that you can check out now, all available on our website at inebri-art.com. And pretty much available everywhere that podcasts are available, on Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, all those things. And if you don't see it where you're looking, let us know. We'll try to get onto that as well. And you can also email us at inebri-art@yahoo.com with your questions, complaints, and suggestions. And also, if you could take the time to rate and review us on iTunes, that would be phenomenal. That helps us get more exposure and bring more of these great podcasts to your ears. And thanks again for listening.